Norwich 1.
Exactly what Grimsby did not want. Now, a choice of live sport coming up on our 3 Sky Sports channels. Sky Sports 3 now, live snooker from the British Open. 3 on 2, live cricket as we continue our coverage of the 4th test between the West Indies and Australia. And tonight from 7 on 1, more live football from St James's Park this time as Newcastle play Spurs. After the break, reflections from a dispirited Blundell Park. The home supporters have nothing to cheer about, but those Norwich fans can return to Norfolk with a smile and the points.
They're not just out there, they're right here.
Captain, please, don't let them take her away.
Deep Space Nine at 8. They're in a state of confusion.
You're saying that the planet was uninhabited?
First Wave at 9. They're in control.
This ain't no comic book. You have no idea what we're dealing with here.
There's no escaping sci-fi action.
Mr. Alien Hunter.
2 brand new episodes tonight from 8 on Sky One.
What I like most about this club is it's so darn hard to get into.
It wasn't too difficult for me, then I know the club captain.
Well, El Capitano.
We don't just want any old Harry joining willy-nilly.
No jeans? No.
Women are welcome to play any time they like, as long as it's not Saturday morning.
My wife often says that this club is an extension of my office.
Timing, rhythm, power. It's all in the buttocks.
It's an exclusive membership here.
You've only got to take a look at the car park.
I mean, how do you expect to be taken seriously if you're not a member?
Vorsprung durch Technik, as non-members would say.
So, you want a new PC. You want free, easy internet access just by plugging into your phone line. You want all the kit, including a colour scanner and printer. And you want the new lightning-fast 400 MHz Intel Celeron processor. Fine. Pick up the phone and have it your way. Call Gateway on 0800 389 0800 and for £1,225 we'll deliver a Gateway PC with free internet access built just for you.
Hi.
Because you never know when you'll meet the girl of your dreams, you need long-lasting odor protection. Gillette has created continuous protection antiperspirant for long-lasting protection.
Thanks.
That keeps you ready for anything.
Are you ready for the JJB and Sports Division Top 20 hits from the UK's #1 sports retailer? Reebok Crystal Road, an unbelievable $29.99. Adidas Tremor, a new entry at $29.99. Nike Midfield, straight in at $29.99. Umbro Solar down to $19.99. Take your pick of the top 20 chart toppers in the JJB and Sports Division Top of the Shops for UK's #1.
With rates from 10.9% APR, it's astonishing what people do with a personal loan from Alliance and Leicester. With just one simple phone call, you could borrow up to £15,000 for anything from a new start in life to a new start for your finances, or even flying lessons. Call 0990 62 6262 and apply today. You could borrow £4,000 for less than £92 a month. So for a low-rate loan over the phone, call 0990 62 6262 now. That's 0990 62 6262.
From the writer of Scream and Scream 2.
Please report to the principal's office.
Director of Desperado and From Dusk Till Dawn comes the new thriller.
Did you hear that? Now we're gonna have some fun.
Don't question authority.
We can stop it.
Destroy it.
Always wanted to do that.
The Faculty.
Hey, that's my pen.
No, it's not. This is my pen.
No, it's a black ballpoint. It's definitely mine.
Yes. Well, a lot of pens look alike, you know?
Look, can I just have it?
What would Samo do?
Yeah, well, just... I don't... You can borrow it.
Bravo!
Whoever thought of putting a phone in a box? Hats off to them. A phone you only pay for when you want to talk. A payphone. No contracts, no bills. Simple. A payphone in a box. Such a great idea. Somebody's done it again.
Pay as you talk. The mobile phone in a box. No contracts, no bills. Just time-limited top-up cards for network access and calls. So to pay as you talk, the word is Vodafone.
Where's the way out?
Welcome back to Blundell Park, where the home side have been beaten by the only goal to all but extinguish their distant playoff hopes. 9 attempts at goal by Norwich over the 90 minutes, just the 2 on target, 1 counted. It's a happy Canary coach that will wing its way back to Norfolk this afternoon. It might take a bit of time with all the bank holiday traffic, mind you. Just the 1 booking in the 90 minutes. Mr. Heilbronn had another good game. Action areas, well, after 15 minutes, Grimsby were dominating, but thereafter it was very even, as those stats show. Norwich edging it in terms of possession. Second half action areas, Norwich did more of the attacking as well. And they won the game in front of a crowd of just over 6,000. We can hear from the 2 Norwich strikers, Craig Bellamy and Paul Dalgleish. They're talking to Alan Bentley.
Craig, if we can start with you, it seemed hard work out there.
Yeah, it was hard work. You know, Grimsby are a good footballing team, we knew that. But we just had to get into the corners, and me and Paul really it was honest really to spin into the corners and put them under pressure.
Paul, how much did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's my first team game for a while now, so I was just happy to be back playing again.
It's a pretty special goal. Was there ever a hint that you might take the free kick, Craig?
I said I am, because I'm usually on him and I usually fail, but he's just come over. In a way, he can strike the ball. You've seen it. I've seen him in training, the last few days, and there was no doubt he was going to hit the target. And the way he hit it was unbelievable. It was a great goal.
As far as you're concerned, what made the difference today?
Really, we changed it around a little bit. We all wanted the ball. The last few games we haven't wanted the ball. We've at home, especially, being a bit poor. The crowd's got on our back, rightly so. But the way support here lifted us, and we just felt hungry for the game, and that's all we needed. A bit of enthusiasm, and we can go out there because we can pass, and we got a good chance of turning over teams.
And Paul, if I can ask you, you've come down from Newcastle on loan. How difficult has it been for you to maintain your self-belief in your ability?
Well, if you let your self-belief go, you've got no chance. So I just play and enjoy my football. Hopefully that'll be in the first team for a few years to come now.
In an ideal world, is it returning to St James's Park?
Well, I just want to play first team football. If I'm not going to get an opportunity at Newcastle, then obviously I'll have to move on. But I'm a Newcastle player at the moment, and if I'm told that I've got a future at the club, then I'm happy to stay.
And finally, Craig, what about your future? There has been all sorts of speculation.
No, I'm happy with Norwich. It's been great to me. I've grown up with the club, and I can see myself staying here definitely for another season and just go on from there because we've had a bad season, but it's a good club. There's a lot of good young players at the club, and if we can just keep putting a lot of performance like that, we'll climb up the league definitely.
Well done to both of you. Thanks for talking to us. Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Norwich fans will be pleased to hear that from Craig Bellamy, one of their star players. Of that there is no doubt, but they are the great underachievers, and this afternoon proved that really, Nigel, didn't it?
It did really. They played very well second half, knocked the ball around well, and had Grimsby running around chasing them really, but they have underachieved this season for all the youngsters they've got there, and the good blend of experience as well at the back in Matt Jackson. They should be doing better really, but they now need to go on from this, build from this till the end of the season, hopefully finish as high as possible.
We said before the game that Grimsby had to win to keep alive their playoff hopes. It's all over, isn't it, as far as Alan Buckley's side is concerned?
I think it's all over now. I think Wolves will be very, very happy. They know that obviously Grimsby aren't going to catch them. The only ones that maybe will catch them is Sheffield United, and that's a big game this afternoon. But they started very well, yes.
This was Caldecott, one of several half chances, or more than half chances they had. I suppose if one of those had gone in, it would have been a different story. Having said that, Norwich hit the post themselves inside the first 10 minutes.
Yes, but even in the end of the game, the last 10 minutes, Grimsby had a lot of pressure. Burnett has a chance, Groves' header just goes wide, but it didn't go in, and they haven't scored enough goals, really. But all credit to Grimsby, they've come up from obviously the second division last year. They've done extremely well this season, and, to finish in the top half of the first division, with just 22 players they've used all season, it's a very good achievement.
Wonderful free kick from Marwan, as we said at half-time.
Yes, wonderful free kick, but it wasn't just this free kick where he got man of the match. Some of the lovely touches, you can see that he is a quality player, been brought up the right way at Manchester United, and has taken, obviously, on some of David Beckham's skills as well.
Well, Donovan might have levelled things up just before half-time. He struggled a little bit down the road. He's had that back problem, which I think has been a big problem for Grimsby at critical stages this season, hasn't it?
Yes, but also they're playing Steve Livingston at the back, who played extremely well today. This Paul Dalglish played very well, and Craig Bellamy up front, but Steve Livingston played well at the back, and he's a centre forward playing at centre half. And in the end, Paul Groves had to go and play at the back as well. He's their leading goal scorer.
If Ruud Gullit was watching today, do you think Dalglish did enough to suggest that he's got a future in the Premiership side? Well,
I hope he has, Paul. I mean, he's a good lad. He did extremely well at Bury when he was on loan last season. He did well when he started off playing at Newcastle this season, and I watched him on a couple of occasions, but recently he's not had a look in. And, you know, you just, as he said it in his interview, you've just got to move on if you're not wanted.
That was so close. The wind just blew at the wrong side of the post, really, didn't it?
Yeah, I think you were blowing it, Marcus, I think, George. But they were unlucky at the end. But Norwich overall, they did extremely well, and they have all their supporters and players have a happy trip home.
Yeah, it's a long way to come, and they will go home happy. Here's the bottom of the First Division, which will, of course, change after this afternoon's matches. Norwich were in the lower half at the start of play. For the moment, at least, they are into the top 12, where they were for the first half of the season. They are in 12th place, 53 points from 40. But Grimsby, as we've seen, have slipped the other way. It's going to take a miracle for them now to climb into the top 6. Now, there's been that big game at the top of the Second Division this afternoon as well at Deepdale. It's finished. Preston 1, Manchester City 1. Steve Basham put Preston in front after just 1 minute. Michael Brown equalised after 22. Let's have a look at the top of the Second Division. As a result of that, Manchester City stay fourth with 69 from 40. Preston 73 from 39. So they've got a game in hand, and they're 4 points in front as well. Briefly, Nigel, do you think City can still nick that second place?
I think really they needed to win today, but it's going to go down to the wire. We've got the big game, obviously, next week, Gillingham against Bournemouth, which is another top-of-the-table clash. But City is still in there. They've still got a chance, but others will have to slip up along the way. And Walsall are in a very strong position now with the games in hand.
Yeah, well, they're certainly on a roll. Let's hear from the winning manager here at Blundell Park. Bruce Rioch is now with Alan.
Bruce, Grimsby gave it a go at the start and the end, but by and large, are you happy with your performance?
Oh, very much so. We made quite a number of changes and introduced some new faces into the starting lineup for the first game. And I thought we kept the ball very well indeed. And you know, we got ahead with a good goal, a superb free kick. You know, there's no doubt he's been practicing those from where he's come from, and would have either copied someone like David Beckham or Cantona. But it's a good experience for him, and it's a great finish. And really, from our point of view, as I mentioned in the interview before the game, the one thing we haven't done in the second half of the season is score enough goals. So to get ahead, I think, was a big boost for us, and it was a boost for the new faces that we had in the team.
Is it now a conscious decision also to give youth a chance?
Well, it is a very young club in any event, and the signings that we made prior to the deadline were all 22 and under, 21 years of age in most cases. And only last week we put out the youngest team in the history of Norwich City Football Club. And it's an opportunity to see, I mean, they have talent and they have ability, and the only way to get experience sometimes is to play at league level. Young Darryl Russell's just 18, and I mean, it surprised people like Phil Moran and Paul Dalglish in the dressing room to learn of his age. But they've been superb. They're a good group of players. We have more players 20 years and under in the club than we have between 21 and 31, so it's a very young football club.
Thanks a lot, Bruce.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, plenty of potential at Carrow Road, but it is now 4 years since they were in the Premiership, and the supporters, I'm sure, happy to see younger players coming through, but they've been mid-table, mediocre, and not much more for too long, really, haven't they?
They have, really. Norwich is a good club. They play some good football, and they've had some good European Cup playing in Bayern Munich and places like that, and the supporters always look back to that. But the biggest thing is for Norwich next year to build on this season now and with these youngsters and go forward and try and get promotion next year, because that's what everybody needs there.
They've always seemed to have young players. I don't know what happens to them. They're always young, but they never seem to take that next step.
Well, no, they don't. But I mean, I think with Bruce there and Brian Hamilton, two old stagers who know how to handle youngsters, hopefully they can build a good team there. If they've got a little bit of money to spend now, maybe with O'Neill going to Middlesbrough, maybe they can bring in a couple of experienced players and build on that for next season. And that's why Bruce said at the beginning they want to go on and build on this result today, if they could, which they've won, and now go on and say, well, let's finish as high as possible. And the youngsters who have come in, especially in midfield, did very well. And the French lad came in, Antolin, he played very well down the right-hand side. Then Dalglish, if they can keep hold of him, then, you know, the future looks bright for them.
Yeah, and Mr. Mulrine has got real talent. I don't think we're going to tire of seeing this free kick between now and the rest of the season. It's sumptuous, isn't it?
It is. He just picks a spot, hits the inside of the post. But as we said, the keeper had no chance here. Malky Mackay pulls him on the end of the wall, but it didn't matter. It was going to go in, even if the wall had another person on top of them. I think he picked his spot and put it right in the top.
Alan made the point, and you made it at half-time, that if that goal had been disallowed because of Mackay's tugging at the wall, they'd have been furious, wouldn't they? Mulrine in particular would have been furious with him.
Yeah, he would have been furious with him, but there's no need to do it. But, I mean, if it's a little bit lower, it might have made all the difference. So we got away with it, and thankfully for Mulrine and for Norwich, they've got the 3 points.
Yeah, Grimsby might have snatched a point. That header from Groves, which was going in, and then at the last minute just veered away. And at that stage, I'm sure Alan Buckley knew it wasn't going to be his day or his season.
No, that really killed the finish. If they got a draw there, maybe it would have left the door just a little bit ajar, but really that's finished for them now. They've got to get back to trying to win here and beat some of the top sides, all the bottom sides who come here, and then just try and finish as high as possible like Norwich, because there's nothing else to play for, really.
Well, Alan Buckley is still inside that Grimsby dressing room with his players, just having a few words with them. If we get him in time, we'll hear what he has to say. Don't forget this afternoon, some really big games at the top of the First Division. If Sunderland win at Crystal Palace today, they will all but be up. Of course, a couple of days ago, they recorded their 11th straight win at the Stadium of Light. It's a record run. West Brom, the latest lambs to the slaughter. And Kevin Phillips, who else in goal-scoring form once again?
Yeah, another excellent win for Sunderland. I think the only thing they can look at now is trying to get 100 points. I think they've been so outstanding in this league, and all credit to Peter Reid and all his players. They've put on some wonderful displays, only lost 3 games all season, and obviously winning 3-0 at the Stadium of Light again. They're playing some wonderful, entertaining football.
Second goal from Lee Clark. One of the great stats of the season, Nigel. Phil Whitehead in goal for West Brom on Saturday. He's now played twice there this season, once with Oxford, once with West Brom. In those 2 games, he's conceded 10 goals. That is more than Thomas Sorensen of Sunderland throughout the whole season. That is one hell of a stat, isn't it?
That's a great stat, and I bet if he's listened to the programme, he's very pleased you've mentioned it, Marcus.
Yes, and he won't want to go back to the Stadium of Light in the near future, that is for certain. Of course, the question that everyone is asking regarding Sunderland is who are they going to buy in the summer to make sure they stay in the Premiership next season?
Well, I don't know, but Peter obviously knows who he'll want for next season. He'll want to bring in a couple of experienced players to help the young side along, because they are a young side at Sunderland still. Sorensen's a good goalkeeper. They've got Phillips scoring goals up front, Quinney and GKO fighting for that front place with Bridges. They've got a very, very good squad, but they need to add to it, and I'm sure Peter will know that. He knows better than I, but he'll be looking for experienced players.
All right, Nigel, thank you very much indeed. Now, more live action coming up very shortly here on Sky Sports. Tonight, 7 on Sky Sports 1. It's Newcastle against Spurs, just 6 days before their FA Cup semi-final at Old Trafford, of course. And next Friday, we are back at 7 o'clock on Sky Sports 3 from the Priestfield Stadium. Big game at the top of the second division between Gillingham and Bournemouth. Both have been wavering just a little bit in recent weeks, so that is an absolute 6-pointer at the Priestfield. Well, today, Grimsby knew they had to win to keep alive their distant playoff hopes. They didn't, so it's all over for the Mariners, and Norwich can try at least to enjoy the rest of the season. We'll see you Friday. Enjoy the rest of your Easter. For now, from us all, it's goodbye.
Bye. Cause even her smile looks like a frown. She's seen her share of devils in this angel town. Everything's gonna be alright. Rockabye, rockabye. Rockabye.
Markham's, sponsors of the Nationwide Football League on Sky Sports.
International one-day cricket.
Oh, he's given that everything.
The Coca-Cola Cup live from Sharjah.
Well, got it.
England, India and Pakistan head-to-head in limited overs action.
That's in the crowd.
Sky Sports brings you every game, every ball.
Miles.
And with all three countries warming up for the World Cup in May, there's an extra edge to spice things up.
That's the corker.
The Coca-Cola Cup starts Wednesday.
One, two, three, four. You stand my natural emotions. You make me feel I'm gonna hurt and I'm hurt. If I start a commotion, I run the risk of losing you, and that's worse. Ever fall in love with someone, ever fall in love with someone, ever fall in love with someone you should have fallen in love with. I can't see much of the future unless we find out who's to blame. What a shame. I'm a kind woman, but I'm much stronger unless we realize we are the same. Ever fall in love with someone, ever fall in love with someone, ever fall in love with someone you shouldn't fall in love with. You spur my natural emotions, you make me feel I'm done for hurt and I'm hurt. And if I start a commotion, I'll only end up losing you, and that's worse. Ever fall in love with someone, ever fall in love with someone, ever fall in love with someone you shouldn't fall in love with. Ever fall in love with
To the center of the city where a roads meet, waiting for you. To the depths of the ocean where all hope sank, searching for you. Moving through the silence without motion, waiting for you. In a room with no window in the corner, I found truth. Shadow play, acting out your own death, knowing no more. See assassins all grouped in 4 lines, dancing on the floor. And with cold steel load around their bodies, made a move to connect. I could only stare in disbelief as the crowds all left.
I did everything I wanted to. I let them use you for their own ends. To the center of the city in the night, waiting for you. To the center of the city in the night, waiting for you.
Don't you just love 'em madly? To all those musicians, to the soundmen and cameramen, to the roadies and managers and the directors and the rest, those who made it and those who didn't, thank you. As Iggy said after The Passenger, who was that cameraman? He danced with me. Thank you for dancing with us.
say anything. Shall I give you some quick emails?
Yeah.
Barbara Thomas from Coventry has just emailed. She says, she's pleased we've covered the air tour seating arrangements. She